Welcome to the Boxing Bookie. It is good to be back. It is a Friday. It is the night before. It's before the big fight. I've released a bunch of videos for you guys to take a look at, but I want to get into this week's card and get into just the biggest fights, the best ways to make money this week. There are a ton of fights. It's a loaded weekend. There are good fights that we can make money on. For sure. There's a ton of fights, a ton of ways to make money. I want to get into it. I want to touch on that. I want to pull up my parlay calculator. Let's start with that. If you guys have not already, make sure to join the Patreon. Link is in the description. It's also in the chat as well. So make sure to join the Patreon. Just $5 a month. Just $5 a month to get you the lock of the week, get you all the perks, to get you access to the most updated props. It gets you ask the bookie anything. Ask me to request a fight, request I break down a video. I will do that for you. But let's get into today's show. Let's get into this week's bet. So there's a lot to like this week. There's a lot of good bets to make. And I don't want to just touch on this with y'all because there is. Hang on one second. Fix something real quick because I am an idiot. I need to fix one thing right quick. Give me 1 second, y'all. What is that? All right, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I just need to update something real quick. All right, and we are good to go. All right, let me get everything pulled up for y'all as well. Okay. Here is, according to DraftKings, everything we have this weekend. Connor Coyle, minus 1,400. Not a bad bet to add to your parlay. He's certainly going to win. What I really like are these two bets here. Connor Coyle over 6.5. I think this fight's definitely going over. That's at minus 230. That's not terrible. No, not that. Connor Coyle by decision or tech. I think he wins on points. My guess is that he definitely wins on points. Connor Coyle's not really a hitter. He doesn't really look to hurt people. He doesn't really sit down on his punches or anything like that. He's not a knockout artist. And Kyle Lamoti has no power. I think this thing definitely goes over. So if I was a betting man, I would take the over. I would take the over on that. I think this definitely goes over. I think that's a great bet to make. Octo, you think Rug? I think Rayo has a real good shot of pulling it off. I think that's a 50-50 fight, and I think the odds of that make it worth taking the gamble. I'm not telling you he's going to win. What I'm telling you is that's a 50-50 fight. And what odds are you getting right now on that? Like plus 300, Octo? At plus 300? If you're getting plus 300 or better, I say it's worth the gamble, my man. What up, Hawk? What up, Hawk? What up, Kiki? Baby Miller Beatriz is in my big pick. I can't see it. If you want to come on, I will give you the floor and you can explain why you think that, Kiki. I can't see it at all, but if you want, hop on. I can't see it. I didn't get to my UFC guy this week. I didn't get to him. I meant to. Things came up. And I just didn't get to my UFC. I don't make UFC picks. My UFC pick comes from my the other guy that I've been doing them with. I don't know nothing about UFC. That's not my bag. I went in. I did these picks with a guy, the UFC picks with a guy I trust who knows what he's talking about. You guys know him as Vulcan. He's in the chat quite a bit when I go on earlier. But I didn't get to this week. I'll try to get back to having those mixed bets next week, but I don't know anything about UFC. Not a chance I'm betting on Pitbull to lose. You'd be throwing your money away. Okay. I don't know. Why do you think these aren't hot takes? I just disagree with them. Pitbull could very well win. I can't see Big Baby Miller winning. I can't see that at all. But if that's what you guys like, take it. Like I'm just telling you, for my money, I would not bet on with the odds minus 450 or minus 425 or whatever you're getting on Pitbull. I just don't see it. Or he could win. He's stationary. He doesn't jab. He can get out work. He can get out hustle. He can get beat up on the inside. Like why do you think like there are more paths to pick? I'm not saying Rayo is going to win. What I'm saying is it's worth taking the risk because it's a 50-50 fight. Why do you think that this is such a one-sided win for Pitbull? I think the odds are off on this, and I'm not saying he can't win. He could win. I'm saying the odds, there are better bets than taking Pitbull Cruz at plus 425, like I just showed you, right? Like I just showed you a better bet is Connor Coyle going over 6.5. That's a better bet. Stephen McKenna and Joe Laws. This is easy money. I like Stephen McKenna. I like Stephen McKenna by KOTK. I think that's a good bet. I think Stephen McKenna's a great fight to add to your life. Joe Laws is absolute not good. He's not good. And I like him to get the stoppage. And the stoppage is minus 330. That's not terrible. McKenna by stoppage is a better bet to me than picking Pitbull Cruz on the money line. And it pays better. Victor Valdez says putting $50 on Rayo and Bacoli. If one of them hits, you're in the money, man. I think Rayo's got a better chance of hitting. But either one. I don't think I think Jared Anderson is better than most people think. I know people are down on Jared Anderson after his last performance over Mayer. I don't know what he outclassed the former world champion and won every single round on the cards, dominated the fight, and made the guy show up and not fight. Like, to me, that was a good performance against a guy who would not engage. You got a former world champion who had no interest in engaging. Rayo is garbage and will be knocked out inside of 4 rounds. All right, I disagree with you, Kiki. I mean, look, can Pitbull Cruz knock him out? Yeah, I can't see it happening that quick. But, okay, like, I don't think Pitbull Cruz is garbage. I don't think he's trash. I think he has a 50-50 chance of winning that fight. And with a 50-50 chance, I'm taking my money on the prohibitive underdog who's paying plus 330. What Octo wants to know, what are the best props for this weekend? I'm trying to get to that, right? Like, so the props I like are McKenna by knockout. I like the Connor Coyle fight to go the over. Do we got props on this? I like the Caroline Dubois fight to go over. I would not touch this Tyrone McKenna fight. I would lay off that fight. I don't even. I lay off that fight. I'm not touching that fight. I'm torn on that fight. Lay off that fight. Andy Ruiz and Big Baby Miller. I like Ruiz. I like Ruiz. I like Ruiz by decision. I like the over 8.5. I really like the over 8.5 on that. These aren't paying great, but I like Ruiz and I like the over. Something that I like. We're gonna get through these. We're gonna go through all of them, or all the big ones, all the ones I would advise you to bet on. Andy Cruz and Antonio Moran. I think Moran makes this a scrap. I like Andy Cruz by TKO, KO, DQ. If you're looking for positive money, that's not quite positive money. It's minus 130, but we're getting closer there. I definitely like that. There are other bets I feel safer about, but at minus 130, it's not a bad bet. I put 8,000 on Majid. If I lose, I will be joining the Skid Row community. Luke. I wanted to pick Madrimov. I really, really did. I wanted to pick Madrimov in his fight. I watched the tape. There's no way he's going to win, man. There's no way. Unless Terrence Crawford gets so old overnight. He just totally falls apart at 36 or 37, whatever he is now. If he totally falls apart. Okay. But you're betting on him aging overnight. I can't do that. All the fights are mismatches except Anderson, Piccoli, Miller versus Ruiz, and Bud versus Madrimov. Those are the 3 fights to be on and make some money. Yeah, that's yeah. Muscles, I'm thinking doing a standalone bet on McKenna to win by stoppage. What are we looking at? It paid minus, what did it pay? Minus 330? McKenna by stoppage is not a bad bet. Joe Laws is trash. It's not a bad bet, right? Like, I would say this, take a really safe parlay, Muscles, right? Hit on a safe parlay. Whatever you're going to make on that, the winnings of that, put on McKenna, because you like this bet, and I like it too. I like it too. Put that on McKenna to win by stoppage, right? So if you lose, you still broke even. If you win, you had a heck of a Saturday, and take the misses out to eat. Although I don't know if you can, because Muscles got a competition coming up next week, so I don't know if you can go out to eat. I don't know how that works. If you got to be really careful with your diet the week before competition. No, not the McKenna fight. I'm not touching. No, McKenna I like. Is that what I said? No. I'm talking about Tyrone McKenna. Tyrone McKenna, not Stephen McKenna. Tyrone McKenna. No, different McKenna. Yeah, sorry for the confusion. Tyrone McKenna, not Stephen McKenna. Stephen McKenna, you want to take my stoppage. Tyrone McKenna, lay off. Is that I'm laying off? Y'all can do what y'all want to do. Ruiz looked terrible since his win over AJ. Okay, I'm not disagreeing with you. He's got quality wins over quality heavyweights. What quality win does Big Baby Miller have since he tested positive? Go ahead. I'll wait. I feel like we kind of no. We're talking about different McKennas. My bad. With Tyrone McKenna and Steve McKenna, we're talking about 2 different McKennas. Dang, $8,000 on Madrimov. How much is it gonna get you? Let's take a look at that. What the hell is so plus 475? Let's see. All right, at plus 475, I don't know what bookie. That's going to make him $46,000. It's going to take away the initial bet, so $38,000. It's going to hit him $38,000 if he hits that. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. That's a decent. That's a decent vig right there. No, yeah, that's my bad. Tyrone McKenna. No, we're talking about Steve McKenna. There was some confusion there. My bad. Tyrone McKenna we're talking about Steve McKenna. We're talking about 2 different McKennas. That was a confusion. And that's my fault, because I said I wouldn't touch the McKenna fight at the same time saying I would bet on McKenna against stoppage. So Tyrone McKenna, I would not bet on. Steve McKenna, I would definitely add to my parlay on the money line. And Steve McKenna by stoppage is not a bad bet either. I don't mind that at all. Miller has a high work rate and Ruiz has a low one. Miller gone, gonna win this fight easy. Miller has a high work rate and Ruiz has a low. Okay, like that's fair. You're giving me something there. Like that's a reasonable take you're giving me. I don't hate that. Although Miller's work rate has plummeted since he can't take steroids anymore. Like go look at the Dubois fight. Is that the work rate you're talking about? So like What you're talking about is when he was on every single performance-enhancing drug under the sun. He's not anymore. So, salute, XL. Like, that's a different Miller than you're talking about. His work rate with Dubois wasn't high. Talk about Steve McKenna, yeah. Can I list the reasons why I think Madrimov has a decent chance of causing an upset? Sure. It has been a wall of text if you have the same time. You can do that, Luke. You can list it. I'll read it off for you, or I will give you a platform. That's the link below if you want. Right there, I will pin it. Hop on in, and you can tell me and the audience why you think that. I'm definitely not opposed to that. Gonna take a chance to put $100 on Madrimov. Let's see. I think you're throwing your money away. Look, before I studied the tape, just when they announced the fight, all the way up until I really broke down the tape, I was with that. Like, yeah, why not? And the whole time studying the tape, I went in thinking I'm going to pick Madrimov to pull an upset here. And I can't do it. Like, I can't do it. Give some background on Steve McKenna. Did he swallow? But yeah, from what I understand, and Muscle knows this too, McKenna gave Bud really good work, and Bud brought him back into camp to do more work with him. I don't really know the whole story. This is one of my parlays. Anyone think Andy Cruz stops? Yeah, no, I think there's a good chance. I mean, look, it's not a guarantee. Just stylistically, Andy Cruz sometimes gets bored. Let's say he gets bored and he just goes through the motions, and he doesn't really, he's content with just winning rounds. That being said, he could also stop him in 2 rounds if he really wants to. So, yeah, that's really up to Andy Cruz. I mean, Moran's going to engage, right? Andy Cruz is, what was the guy's name? What was the name of the Mexican fighter Andy Cruz fought his last outing? Give me 1 second. Brian Zamaripa. He just wouldn't engage. Zamaripa just wouldn't engage him at all. And like Andy Cruz was like, all right, I'll just win every round and we'll do that. And that's what he did. I don't want you to put that in your parlay and lose your parlay because Andy Cruz got bored and just won every round. Yeah, he had although Moran will fight. So if Moran will fight, if you're willing to fight, it's a 10-round fight, I think. If you're willing to fight Andy Cruz is so damn good that he's going to end up stopping you. So, I feel good about a stoppage, but I would say it's not a lock. I feel it's more likely he gets a stoppage than not. So, back to that end. I'm on my PC. You can use that link from your PC, but if you don't want it, that's fine. Casey Madrimov upset Crawford. Points, distance. Crawford moving up in weight. How many is it? Too many. Bud is turning 37 years old. Yeah. Now he's using Big Boy 10. Okay. The gloves, sure. Will his power continue to translate on top of that weight and age? Madrimov has over 370 amateurs fight, and apparently he's never been dropped. Bud has been hurt before by small fights like Imboa and dropped by Kalilaskis. Porter was getting to Bud at times and cracked him with some good shots in the early rounds. Yeah, okay. And then once Bud wanted to stop him, he stopped him. Like, that's true. I thought Bud was losing. He was losing on my card. And then he said, I'm going to stop him. And he stopped him. Like, I get that. But, like, you had to take the whole fight in context. As soon as Bomac told him he was losing, he's like, I'm losing. And he went out and stopped him. Madrimov will be his most athletic, strongest, and heaviest opponent to date. Those are all most athletic. He's got good feet. He's got some athleticism, but he's fought some good athletes. Gamboa, he's a better athlete than Gamboa. I don't know about that. He was also be the first opponent under the age of 30 that Crawford will be fighting in years. Is that true? I mean, Cal Brook. Yeah, I mean, the last one was probably Benavidez, right? Good point, Loki. But Bud likes Steve McKenna and brought him back to camp. Yep. I think Anderson versus McCauley only fight I'm not confident in calling. I'm really confident in Jared Anderson. I'm super confident in Jared Anderson in that fight. Porter was clipping Bud early in the fight. Yep, I said this in the video. If you guys watched my video on that, I said Crawford starts slow, and Madramov's best chance is to jump on him early. But Mean Machine did that. Kell Brook did that to a degree. Kell Brook was totally shot. Porter did that, right? Like, it's been done. Try to clip him early, but he wears it out, and then he just comes back and stops you later in the fight. Like with Kell Brook, he stopped him in the 4th round. I felt like he lost the first 3 rounds and then stopped him in the 4th. Spence was still walking Bud down despite getting peppered all night. Kavaliauskas dropped Bud. I agree. Kavaliauskas dropped Bud, even though he did not get credited for that knockdown. They call it a slip. When you go back and watch it, it was likely a knockdown. And Gamboa had him on Queer Street. He did. Madrimov is stronger, bigger, younger, and more athletic than all of these folks. He also has an unorthodox style. Yep, unorthodox style, good angles, good explosiveness. He can be aggressive, or he can back up the back foot and then come in on you and time you. He can do it all. He's a good fighter, and that's why I wanted to pick him. Like, look, you make a good case, Luke. You do. And I wanted to pick him. And then studying the tape, like, there's no way to beat Crawford. Like, there's no way he's going to win. I don't hate anything that you said. Like, I feel like there's a degree of accuracy and truth to everything that you said. I still, like, I looked at Crawford, and he's the better boxer. Taller, rangier. He's knocked out everyone at 47. I have no reason to think his power is going to disappear by going to 47 to 54 and putting on the bigger gloves. Although you make a fair point with that. He's going to be wearing bigger gloves, 10-ounce gloves, not 8. Right? So there's a lot that changes from 47 to 54. And Madrimov has always been a 54-pounder. So he's fighting in Madramov's comfort zone. That being said, I still think Crawford outlasts him and outclasses him, to be fair. Andy Cruz ain't stopping no one. You'd be wasting your money on betting. Yo, Keegan is on fire tonight, man. All right. Like, I disagree with you, but I understand why you would say that. Like, he does get bored. He does. And he does, going into just run out the clock mode. But being hurt by small opponents like Gamboa, Lundy never got hurt by Lundy. Kavaliauskas is moving up on unknown weight classes, wearing bigger gloves. Okay. Luke, I love the enthusiasm. I asked for this, right? I asked for why you thought that, and you're giving that to me. So I respect that, and I don't necessarily disagree with everything you're saying. Anything that you're saying, except I disagree that Lundy hurt him. I didn't watch the Lundy fight because why would I? But when did Lundy? I saw it live at the time. I didn't go back and study the Lundy tape because it was Hank Lundy. I don't remember Lundy hurting him, but I haven't watched the fight since I watched the fight. Cruz versus Moran over 8.5. Morrell over 4.5. I like Morrell over 4.5. And I'm a huge Morrell fan. I think Morrell is the best 168 in the world. But I like the over. Rod Klajewski is a really good fighter. He's not going to win, but he's a really good fighter. And I like the over 4.5 on that. Shout out to UXL. Ruiz versus Miller over 8.5. Probably I like that. I like the over 8.5 on that. I like Cruz over Moran 8.5. Bacoli moneyline. No, I don't like that. Cruz Royal ends by stoppage. I like that. Crawford by KO plus 3,000, 29.45. This is your parlay, my man. This is your parlay. I like this. I don't. The only one I don't like on this is Bacoli on the money line. I don't think Bacoli is going to win that fight. If you took that out, what are your odds? Exactly. Besides that, I like everything else in here. I think everything else here is pretty sexy. I'm staying away from. Okay. All right. Like Muscles, I like Jared Anderson. You want to lay off? You don't feel good about it. You don't feel good about it. Lay off of it. Muscles told me that he was laying off Haney and Ryan Garcia because he didn't feel good about it. So shout out to Muscles, right? Like shout out to Muscles. I was wrong. Well, I don't know. Y'all get your money back on that one? Did y'all get your money back on Ryan Garcia, because Ryan Garcia's win came off the board? Did y'all get your money back? Because he didn't lose. You should get your money back. You can contact DraftKings about that. Or I don't know what book you guys use. But if you use DraftKings, you can get your money back if you bet on Ryan Garcia, on Devin Haney to beat Ryan Garcia, because the fight came off the board, so it's no contest. It's like it never happened. Oh, but I'm along for the ride tonight. Oh, no, Roger, no problem. It's great to have you, my friend. It's great to have you. So we bet on the money line? Yeah. On the over? Yes. Money line for sure. It doesn't really pay. I don't love the odds on it, but I like the over on that fight. I like the over. Morrell by stoppage, probably. I mean, Morrell's that good. I don't think it'll be that early. I think this is a real fight. Like, I think he's going to be tested a little bit. Like, this is not an easy opponent. But I think Morrell's the best 168 in the world, so I think he wins. 100%, says Kiki. 1 year layup, turning 37. Yeah, Luke, he's always on a 1 year layup. Crawford fights once a year. Why is that now? Like, okay, yes. Why is a year layoff now going to affect him when it hasn't affected him in his past? He was fighting, he only fights once a year. Like, he only fights once a year. So, he fought once in 2022, and then he fought Spence in 2023. He fought once in 22. Like, that's all he fights, though. Like, I can't get worked up about that because that's what he does. He's made a habit of that. That parlay has way too many moving parts. Look, it pays plus 3,000. He knows it's a long shot. I wouldn't make that, but I can't. There's nothing in that I hate besides McCauley over Anderson. 370 plus amateur fights have never been dropped before, and it's definitely used to getting hit by bigger men. All this tells me a potential upset could be possible. All right. Everyone looks invincible. Luke, let me ask you this question, because maybe, do you think he's going to win? Or do you think he's going to win? Or do you just like the odds? Do you like the fact that he's paying, what the hell is he paying? Plus 475. If this was an even money fight, even money, it was a pick 'em fight, who would you pick to win? Okay. I was like that before I watched the tape. And after really chopping up the tape, I'm like, I can't see Crawford not winning. I'm not saying Madrimov wins, but you look at the reason I stated, it's crazy to say Madrimov has no chance. I wanted to pick Madrimov. Going into my film study, I was leaning towards calling the upset because of the odds. I thought the odds were way too wide. After really studying the tape, I kind of agree with the odds. I think Vegas has got this one right. Do you like Steve McKenna by stoppage? Yeah. Oh, he's asking Kiki. 100% one by stoppage. How much money do you bet in your parlays? It depends on the parlay. It depends on the parlay. I have a few more picks than the ones I feel safe on. Is Isaac Cruz, Andy Cruz, Morrell money line, plus Ruiz Miller over 8.5. Yeah, Anderson McCauley over 8.5. Yeah, and Crawford money line. Whoa. Oh, that's plus 260. Okay. Miller is below 300 pounds. I'm betting on him. Did anyone see the weigh-in today? I didn't see it. Did anyone see it? Is Miller under 300 pounds? Let me see if I can find that for you. Up 305.6 according to Boxing News 24. According to Boxing News 24, he weighed 305.6. So Andy Ruiz weighed 274.5 pounds and is outweighed by over 30 pounds. That is phenomenal. That is awesome. Luke says if you can't stop Antonio Moran, that's embarrassing. Huh? Miller at 305 pounds. Yep, 305. No, it's an excellent argument Luke made. I don't disagree with anything he said. I just disagree with the outcome. Crawford is the better boxer. He's the bigger hitter. He's still the better athlete. Yes, he's 36 and moving up in weight, right? But he's still better across the board. He's still more fundamentally sound. He still has two-fisted power. He's still the faster man in the ring, right? He's still a better jabber. He's still a better counterpuncher. He's still all these things. And I like Madrimov. Madrimov might be the next best guy. Well, I like Jesus Ramos too, right? But those are my top 3 guys at 154. Crawford, Madrimov, and Jesus Ramos. So I don't disagree with anything he said about Madrimov. I don't think Crawford is shot. Look, and if you want to take the odds on this, I don't think it's crazy to want to bet on Madrimov. Madrimov's a great fighter. So if you want to bet on a great fighter who's a prohibitive underdog, I don't hate that in theory. Muscles Brown said, I'm doing Stephen McKenna by stoppage and a standalone, but then I'm parlaying Cruz, Morrell, and Crawford. There you go. I think the defending champion of at his comfort weight class, who is also young and not that old, age 30 plus guys, Bud been fighting. Bud is old, and that's my biggest concern about him. Like I said, he's old and he starts slow. So Madrimov needs to get cooking immediately. Miller looking in great shape. I'm betting big on him. Okay. Let's go, Kiki. World of Wrestling. What up, my man? What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Ruiz looking out of shape, but he always does. I don't know. I'm a contact ref. I didn't know that. Yeah, there you go. I've been watching Bud clips all day and seen a bunch of times when dudes would get inside of Bud, very long, stringy arms, and crack him. Those were small guys. If Madrimov lands, it will be interesting. Yeah, but Bud's chin is held up. He's been cracked before, and it's held up. He got cracked by Porter. He got cracked by Spence early once. He got cracked by Kyle Velasquez, and yes, he got dropped, but he made it through. He got cracked by Madrimov. So, there's no reason really to question Bud's chin. Also, Ruiz not fought in 2 years. Yeah, I don't love this with Ruiz. He's fighting Big Baby Miller. He's going to beat Big Baby Miller. Key, what is Big Baby Miller's best win and when was? I'm just gonna put this down here. What is the best win of Big Baby Miller's career and when was it? Answer that question and then we'll talk about him being Andy Ruiz. All right. And yes, Bud eventually wins at the end, but Bigger Love is now Bigger Man and a 1 year layoff. Okay, I get your argument, Luke, and I appreciate it. And I really do. I appreciate you going through this exercise with me. I think this was good. I do, for sure. Pitbull will stop his opponent inside. All right, we went from 4 to 6. I still don't see that. I think Ryo very well win that fight. Ryo's the better fighter from the outside. I think the bigger one-punch hitter. He's still pretty good on the inside, although that's not really where he wants to fight. But that's a 50-50 fight where I think it's worth betting on Ryo to win that because of the odds. Imagine betting without seeing the weigh-in live right now. Okay. People bet. Okay. Two guys standing in their underwear who've already rehydrated. They've already rehydrated. A ceremonial weigh-in. Imagine they've been rehydrating for hours, right? It doesn't mean anything. It's a ceremonial weigh-in. They weighed in this morning with the officials, with the commission. They made weight. They come back out. They eat. Then they come back out on the scale and they do a ceremonial weigh-in. 3D, what do you think of my safe parlay? It's not bad. I don't hate it. I wouldn't call it safe. It's not egregious. There's nothing awful in it. What's your safe? It's not safe. It's not safe. It's like having sex with a porn star, but pulling out and saying you had safe sex. Okay, it's safer. I wouldn't call that safe. I disagree. I don't think Bud hits harder than Madrimov. He has faster. Look, Bud stopped every single guy he fought at 47. He stopped Benavidez, who went and fought at 54. He stopped Jeff Horn, who fought at 54. He's the bigger hitter. I don't hate Madrimov. And look, even if you don't think he's the bigger hitter, fine. We could probably debate that. He definitely has enough power to stop Madrimov. And Madrimov has enough power to stop him, right? But I don't think that this is if we want to debate who's the bigger hitter, it's not really a fruitful debate because either guy can change this fight with one shot, and either guy can win by knockout. Like it's not like he's fighting a non-puncher. He's not fighting Sonny Edwards. He's fighting a puncher. Both guys are fighting a puncher. Both guys could get knocked out if they get hit right. So this is the parlay that he's talking about. Muscles Brown, Isaac Cruz, Andy Cruz, Morrell money line. I don't have any problem with any of that. Ruiz Miller over 8.5. I like that. Anderson Piccoli over 8.5 and Crawford money line. I like this bet. I like this. I do. It's not terrible, and it pays plus 260. I like it. I would not put Isaac Cruz on it, but if you like Cruz, just do it. Yeah, it's not for again. It's got 12 legs on it. You know what I'm saying? It's got how many? Count the legs on that. Like it takes one to break down, but yeah, for something with that many legs, it looks pretty good. So I'm locked in. I got Cruz, Anderson, and Terrence Crawford all money lines, individual bets. All right, you guys really like Cruz. I like this. I like that world of wrestling. I'm going to wrap this up in about 5 minutes. I've been going on for already 36 minutes, so I'm going to wrap this up shortly. I'd say Cruz, UD over Moran, Pitbull, KO inside 6, Anderson, UD over Piccoli, Morrell, KO 6 inside Madrimov, Miller, Madrimov, King, Kiki says Miller, UD over Ruiz. I don't see it. Madrimov and Madrimov and Anderson pick only 2. I'm not confident. Madrimov and picks only 2. I'm not confident in, so I won't bet those 2. I'm cool with that. Rest, I'm 99% confident. I'm going to rewatch the Porter fight tonight. Those scorecards were close. Yeah, I had Porter winning the fight at the time of the stoppage. So, no, that was great. Madrimov is way more of a threat than Porter, who is a more volume puncher. Madrimov is the bigger hitter, but Porter disguises his shots and is relentless. So, I mean, it depends. Madrimov's the bigger hitter. He's a better jabber. They're very different fighters. Yeah, Madrimov can end this in one shot. Porter really couldn't, right? Porter's not a huge puncher. The awkward angles, explosiveness, and solid presenting opportunity is realistic. Oh, yeah. You know, when you're awkward and unconventional like that, sure. Now, let's see him do it, you know? It takes a lot to... what is going on? I'm going to have to end this. I'm having some issues. I'm going to end this in like 5 minutes. It takes a lot to predict an upset. I'm with the bookie on this one. I think the bookie's got this right. What's up, bro? Most confident bets for tomorrow. Yeah. I like Jared Anderson. I like I'll go over that real quick. I wanted to have you on. I just totally forgot. Let me go over my locks real quick. I'll just take a look. I'll give you a couple good bets that I like a lot. You guys, there's a lot of agreement in here. So what I like Connor Coyle versus Kyle Lamoti on the over. I love this on the over at minus 230. I love that. That's hot to me. I also like Connor Coyle by decision. I like that a lot. I like Stephen McKenna. I like that a lot. I like Caroline Dubois and I like the over on that. Does over 8.5 fight props? Does the fight go the distance? Yes. Minus 245. I like that. I like the over, and I like that. Tyrone McKenna, I'm laying off. Andy Ruiz versus Jarrell Miller. Andy Ruiz, I like Andy Ruiz on the over. I like Andy Ruiz, and I like the over in this. I like Andy Ruiz a lot. That would be part of my parlay. Like if you parlay. If you guys want my lock of the week, join the Patreon. It's $5 a month. Link is in the description. I'll also pin it in the chat again real quick. I like Andy Cruz, although minus 3,000. And David Morrell. Over 4.5. I really like the over on that as well. I like the over on 4.5. So those are some of the bets that I really, really, really like. I'm just going to go through these real quick. I'm going to put my Patreon in the link again. So if anyone here has not joined the Patreon, get the lock of the week, join the Patreon. Guys, also smash the like button for me real quick. Smash the like button for me real quick. I'm just going to go through these final chats. Madrimov has a high work rate. If he stays on, but he doesn't really does it though. Like that's not true. He's gotten awkward and he throws in combination, but he shells up sometimes and doesn't throw. But even when he's not having success, that will be a big key to his victory. Yeah, he's got to stay on him like Porter did. Yeah. Needless to say, Bud is way more complete. He's an extremely long reach. Can set traps and adapt. However, my argument is mostly based on Bud's physical stats depreciating because of age and weight. Yeah, I get it. You know, that's why I initially wanted to pick Madrimov too. I have to watch the tape. I can't do it. I'm looking for I will always typically lean. Like I give extra bonus points to the younger prime fighter. That's for sure too. I agree with that. The big unknown is whether Bud can hurt Madrimov. Why do you guys? Because he's going up 7 pounds. Like he can hurt him. He can just walk through his shots without any effect. It's going to be Madrimov by UD or late stoppage. That's not how he's not going to eat Bud shots like they're cupcakes. Bud can punch. He has the amateur background and physicality to do it. I've got a bad feeling about Cruz. Oh, about Ruiz. I think he might end up the next Broner. You talking about Andy Ruiz? You think he'll lose? I don't see that. You're not the first person to say this though. So, Luke said to Kiki, I agree. He's obviously been stopping everybody. This is the first fight of a new weight class. Bigger gloves, old age. For all we know, the punches bounce of Madrimov like Nerf guns. No, we don't know if Bud can hurt him. I guess we don't know until we get in the ring. But he hurt other 154-pounders, so I don't know why he can't hurt Madrimov. We can assume Bud can hurt him because he's been hurting all his previous opponents. Thank you. But the guy is still different than all his previous opponents, not age 30-plus in prime, wide, muscular frame. Bud has beaten guys and hurt guys and stopped guys who fight and have fought at 154. All right, y'all, I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks for coming by. The muscle's not from weightlifting. That's muscle from climbing up mountains. You got that right, Luke. All right, y'all, make sure to press the like button on the way out. I'm going to wrap this up. It is August 2nd, 2024. Thanks for stopping by, y'all. I'll go live again tomorrow. I also dropped my Conor Coyle versus Kyle Lamar video, which you guys should take the over on that. I love the over on that. But I'm gonna drop off now. August 2nd, 2024. I'll be going live tomorrow post-fight. I may go live after the UK card, depending on timing. Well, if not, I'll just go on live later and we'll go over both cards. But from Texas to the world, thank you and God bless.